Folks, I admit, I messed up. Remember the video that I made with the must-have car of GT Sport? Well, it turns out that I was only about half right with that video. Meaning, the reason that that car is a must-have for GT Sport is it allowed for the best money-making method. Well, I was only half right about that because it's only about tied for the best money-making method. That means about half the time it's worth running that for the best money-making method because, well, this money-making method was already around. I just didn't realize it. Right when that update came out, that update with the Aston Martin, they also added new campaign mode events. I didn't even really pay attention to those just because generally I don't pay that much attention to campaign mode events. I do them once and then I'm done, and these particular ones I actually haven't even done until a few minutes ago. The first one they did was, well, this one, and turns out this particular one is the X2014 Standard Nations Cup event, not the literal Nations Cup in terms of the sport mode. This is just what it's called in the campaign mode, because it's based off a previous Nations Cup event. But anyway, it's that, the professional level series event at Circuit de la Sur. The specifics are 3 laps with Red Bull 2014 standards, and for 3 laps it pays 230,000 credits. On paper, that is less than the 2 laps for 160,000 credits, which I mentioned before for the 1979 race. But in reality, well, this particular car actually ain't in reality. The Red Bull X 2014 is unrealistically fast, and is way faster than the race car from 1953. This particular car can do a lap in about 2 minutes and 45 seconds, or even faster when cutting the track, when the Aston Martin did it in about 3 minutes and 20 seconds. So that 10,000 less on paper, well, in reality, it equals out and then more during the Red Bull event. So it is slightly more money made with the Red Bull event. But there's also the XP thought, if you're into that sort of thing, grinding to get to whatever level you desire. The Red Bull event does 4,300 XP without the bonuses, and the Aston Martin event does 3,300, so that doesn't exactly add out. The Aston Martin wins a little bit there. So overall, that's why I say I was only half right with my first video, because Aston Martin does have the most XP for its event, but the Red Bull has the most money. And, well, here's the stickers if you want to see for yourselves. That's good. And it's an easy win. It's a 3-lap race instead of a 2-lap race, so you have that much more time to catch up. And the Aston Martin is one of the worst cars in the field for the other race. So, all things considered, this is also an easier race that you can do clean, thus get the clean race bonus. But this is also that much faster car, and for me in particular, as I've said before, I'm slower on average than the faster cars, meaning just I'm probably not going to be able to do 3 straight clean laps at Lazarus in this car. I could eventually, but the amount of time it would take for me to get good enough to do that would be more time worth than the money made. So I, in particular, don't go for the clean race bonus here. But for all events worth trying to get a clean race bonus for, I think this one would be the easiest one to do so. Because it's an easy win no matter what. I won this particular race cutting the track by over 30 seconds. Red Bulls handle that much better, so they don't gain as much by cutting the track. So therefore, yes, cutting the track definitely makes your lap faster. But you can win without it pretty easily. The main issue there is still being able to do 3 straight clean laps. Either way, you're going to win easy, just 3 straight clean laps is hard. So there you have it, folks. This is the new best money-making method. Not the best XP, but it's not that much more money made on average, and it's not that less XP. It's just a cheaper car, so it really depends on what you want to go for. Do you want to run the Aston Martin, the real nostalgic thing around the real nostalgic track, or run this crazy thing sponsored by a brand that you may or may not like around a very famous track that kind of two and two don't go together. Like this track, you don't necessarily think of a Red Bull type thing racing on. But to each their own on it. This is another option. This is a shorter video than the first video as well. I mean, I'll go back a bit. I could do an entire tutorial, but I mean, just look at how crazy this car is. As y'all can see, its brakes are, I think, quite literally double the Aston Martin. Doubly less braking distance with this than Aston Martin. Aston Martin's old, and just this ain't even a real thing. Plus, there's the whole factor with, wait for it folks, cutting the track. The Aston Martin bounced and stuff because it's an old race car that back then they didn't really know how to do downforce. Now they do. This car has so much downforce you can easily cut the track in it and not worry about wrecking. The particular settings for this car, the minimum downforce, which is still plenty enough to cut the track without bouncing, so that way you can go faster on the streets, and then stretch the gears to top speed of 249. I haven't even messed with gears with this car just because it's such an easy win anyway. So there you have it, folks. There's not really a tutorial needed for this race because it's a much easier win. Honestly, it's not as exciting as driving the Aston Martin. That car has much more character to it, and it's a real car. But this race is just as good overall. Slightly better money, slightly worse XP, but it's way easier to win. But it's also a way more non-apt car for this type of event. So just take whatever you may, do one or both for either, or one or the other either. For me, yeah, honestly, I don't like the Red Bulls that much. I probably will do this one more. Just because I'll go for the clean race bonus eventually. Not now, but for now I'll grind for money. For later I'll grind for XP to try to get to level 50. But anyway, for now, I think that's definitely worth a yeehaw. Is it realistic? No, especially given that this was a Nations Cup race that was in the actual FIA Championships, meaning the ones with the drivers who actually went to the tangible events. And that was the best money-making method, and overall the quickest way of doing it is downright killing all the spirit of that. And in the first place, these cars don't really have that much spirit in that because they ain't real. The real driving simulator with a fake car is kind of iffy, but I'm getting into too much of a rant there. I may be getting into some different types of rants in the future, but there's details on that to come. And there's details y'all definitely will want to be interested in. Wink, wink.